Hey everybody, Dana Stovern here with the Magic of Somatic Money, and I am here to visit with you today about a money story that is specifically about not incurring any more debt when you're working to pay off the debt that you already have. And I'm sure that so many of us can identify with this, where we've either been in or we are in a situation where we're working really hard to getting our debt paid off, and bam, there's an additional expense that comes in that we just don't want to put on another credit card. I get it. Well, I've had those situations come up with clients in the past, and I recently had a situation come up with a client, and I want to share her story with you because it has to do with how we perceive the extra expenses that show up for us in our lives. And so before I tell you the story, I want to give you this concept. And the concept is that money, our money relationship, the home of it exists in our second chakra, which is the energy center right below our navel. And that second chakra is the element of water. It's the water chakra. Well, guess what happens when we get calm and we get centered and grounded? We're able to look into the pool of our reflective money relationship, because if money is second chakra is water, water is reflective. When we get calm with that reflective state of money, we can actually look into the looking glass of money to see what it's telling us so that we can better handle the money situations that we have going on. Yes, that is a more metaphysical take on money, but I've actually used this tool very frequently to help my clients see the symbolic nature of the money events that they have going on in their lives. And this is shifting the needle out of survivalism and victimhood and shifting it into, oh, this is not happening at me or to me. I am a participant in this creative process. What's my most empowered position with what's going on? So I want you to take that whole concept into the story with me so that perhaps you can see in your own situations what you might actually be having going on symbolically with some of your money, some of the extra expenses that are coming in, and how to go ahead and deal with those in your life. Okay, so I was working with this client. We did some really deep, fast, diligent work with her money relationship, specifically in the area of familial lineage coding, in the DNA, and what her family line story was about with money, and what she was doing in her modern day career and life with family, what she was doing to change that money story in the lineage at deep body-based layers. So we took a deep dive, we did deep work. She ate it up. We went really rapidly. She was thrilled with it. She made quantum leaps. We got off the Zoom. She was going to take the work and absorb it. And I heard back from her within 24 hours. And her email, she emailed me, and her email said, Dana, oh my God, we did such amazing work. And within 24 hours, my son, my teenage son, showed up with a cracked computer screen. I had felt so good about the work that we did, and now here's this crisis. And another piece of the story here is she is deep in the process of paying off quite a bit of debt in her life. And so the work that we did was really helpful for her. She was loving that, and she felt like she could apply it into her situation. And then her son shows up with this cracked computer screen, and the entire computer was going to need to be replaced. And she was just beside herself. So you can feel that needle moving back into survivalism and victimhood. And oh my God, what did I do? I did this great work. Did it cause the cracked computer screen? Oh no. So I looked at that, and I went with her down that rabbit hole a little bit. I was like, oh no, that's awful. And then I pulled back and I went, wait a minute. What's the event? What is this symbolically telling us about her and her son? So I went back to my drawing boards, I tuned in with Spirit Team, I tuned in with what I know about the reflective nature of money, and basically I said was, what does this cracked computer screen represent symbolically? And what came back was that computer screens, when we are viewing our computer screens, we are viewing into the world. We are viewing the work that we're doing, and we're viewing how it's interfacing with the world at large and community and our contacts. Like that computer screen literally is a framework for how we are perceptually seeing our world, right? And here her son showed up with a cracked computer screen. His vision of the world was getting a crack in it. Now, he is her son, and what was I working on with her? I was working on familial lineage money coding. Ding, 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 ding. We literally created so much change in the familial lineage coding of her line that her son experienced a cracked computer screen. Now, I'm sure he has his own thing going on. It symbolically means something for him, but for her, looking at that, how that tracked, it began to make perfect sense. It wasn't just this random accident out of nowhere. This was the universe working with her, showing her and saying, look what you did. You moved so much that you are cracking the perceptual screens of how you and your son are viewing the world, and maybe particularly with money. So I began typing up the email to her, and I told her to come back from the edge and do her practice. Let's ground, breathe, center, get present in our bodies. Let's do that first. And then I pitched her the idea of the symbolism of money and what the event was showing us. And then the third piece that I pitched to her was saying, remember, you are not alone. This is not an isolated incident. This is not the world happening at you or to you. You are co-creating, and in that co-creation, you're not alone. You have Spirit Team, you have Divine Financial Light Team, you have higher powers working with you. Like, take a breather, take into account what's happened, the work that you've done, what's happened, and then talk with them about what you want. Because you don't need to do this alone. And her main concern was like, she didn't want to put another charge back on her credit card to keep that balance on the debt up high. Here she is, she's trying to pay off the debt, and this, computer that she's going to have to pay for, she doesn't want to charge that out and have it go back on the debt, because that's just taking steps backwards. So I told her to go to the drawing board with her Spirit Team and basically talk with her Spirit Team of what kind of help she wanted, where her boundaries were at, what she wanted to have happen. And my main thing that I told her was like, you are not alone. You get to ask for help. Maybe it's time to begin to believe a little bit in the magic of the universe, that you are not doing this alone. So she did. I heard from her, and she said yes, she was going to do this. She was going to do a presence practice and take a step back and take a look at it from a different viewfinder. And I also, at that point, inspired her with a couple of other stories that I'm going to be telling on some other videos, but I inspired her with some other stories of some other things that I had clients happen along these same lines with different events. And she came back and emailed me, and she basically said, oh my God, I pigeonholed myself into this tiny slot of survivalism and victimhood, and I don't need to do this. I can broaden my scope here and step back and take a look at the bigger picture and get some help. So she did. She went back to the drawing board. She talked with her Spirit Team about what she wanted, what her financial boundaries were, what kind of help she wanted, and we let it simmer. That's the thing you got to do with these situations. Like, you go through the upheaval of it, you kind of figure it out a little bit, you take a breath, you come back to square one again, and you go, this is where I'm at. And then once you do all that work, then you let it simmer. So she let it simmer. And within the week, this did not take very long, within the week, I kid you not, she emailed me, she was so excited, she said, Dana, that side gig that that I have, because she works this full-time job, but for fun, there's other things she's cultivating in her life. She has a side gig. She's like, Dana, that side gig that I have, guess what? I had a client come through, book me, no questions asked, paid in full, and the amount she got paid was just about the same amount that that new computer was for her son. Folks, we are not doing this alone. If we will just take our time out, work our processes, look at the reflective nature of the universe, ask for the help that we deserve, there's a whole other level that we can go to with our money. So I hope you enjoyed that story. Be sure and check out my other money stories that are similar in nature to inspire you. I would love to hear from you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button on this. And I want to hear your comments about similar situations you might have had, or how this is inspiring you with your own money relationship. And also make sure you pay attention. There's a link in the description with resources on debt-related somatic money programs that I have that you can go check out and get some of the help that you might need. All right. Thank you for listening. I will see you on the next video.